All right, AKA Patters, it's 9:15 in the morning. I hope you're just waking up because I got up not too long ago, and I think I'm at this is what I've been working all year for. I've been working all year to have enough of a inventory of videos and podcasts so they drop automatically, giving me the window to record new things as they for example, like we're missing crow content for the whole week because everything's about the crow right now. Last week it was Alien Romulus, so I can adjust some of the content that I'm releasing based on what's coming out, what's going to be hot, what's going to be conversational. This week, complete failure with the crow, but we will be doing Hell Shock tomorrow on Monday, and I can pivot because we already have a video dropping on Monday. I can move that slot. All the podcast episodes for at least the next 2 weeks, twice a day, one Saturday, once Sunday. They're there. We have a lot of opinion videos already for this coming week, locked, stocked, ready to go. So it's there. And a part of my live stream slowdown, a part of this live stream slowdown was me. I had to align all of that stuff. Me and Team AKA Pad had to become better producers, I'll say. Better at predicting content, predicting topics, releasing them, and moving on. So with all of that, now I don't have to kind of scramble to get videos out to you guys. I can if it's of a topic that I want to jump on, but I had to do that before doing this. And every single day when I wake up, and I'm talking every single day, even the weekends, the weekdays, I mean, I struggle on two fronts. I struggle. Should I work out first? Like, should I wake up and work out, or wake up and jump on the drawing table? Well, today we're waking up and jumping on the drawing table. So cheers. We have some coffee. This has Snickers creamer. Also on the drawing table, joining us for the first time, is Spartan from Wildcats, and that's because I have to draw Spartan over here for this Wildstorm Productions sketchbook, and I'm just looking for Gnome real quick because I want to draw Gnome. I want to just warm up with him, and then I'm going to bring you on the tour of the sketchbook. And here's Gnome right here, and Gnome, he's a part of the Cabal, and the Cabal is like Slag, Atticus, really cool characters. No, this is Atticus, this is Harm, this is Slag. Slag's the only one that got the official Playmates action figure. I would love if someone did the rest of the Cabal as 3D printed figures in the style of Playmates. I think that would be beyond cool. So here he is. He's right here, and he's the guy that manipulates things behind the scenes to get the orb, later to get screwed over by Jacob Merlot, who just like blows his arm right off. And then he falls into a pit, and we don't see him for, like well over a year within continuity. So today's episode, I apologize. It's a little bit of a Wildstorm Wednesday episode, but if everything goes well, hopefully I'll be bringing you these on Wednesdays as well. So we'll do a Wildstorm Wednesday video drop that goes through the history of these books and these characters. And then, as a bonus, we'll hang out at night to discuss those things while drawing Wildstorm characters. And my whole intent with this sketchbook is it's nothing complicated. A couple years ago, I did this Extreme Studios sketchbook. This was basically a response to not finishing something. And I'm talking years before I even started this sketchbook to finish or restarted it. I had drawn a couple just like ideas of like looser, like more like artistic, more openly interpreted versions of the extreme characters, where we, kind of play with the form, we play with color, we find some of the contrast within the character design. And I basically left off like on this page. So I picked it up one day and said, I will finish this. So I just committed the time, and I did, we did like a front to cover, complete, like, at the end, Rob Liefeld with his 501 jeans. But I just said, like, let's just kind of draw as much of the extreme universe from memory as possible. And this is when I was rebuilding the comic collection. And even now, like, I don't have enough extreme comics, I feel like, to have reference to do, like, even these guys, like Heavy Metal. I had the hardest time to bring these guys up on Google. Like, it was impossible. There was like no images of them. So that's why you want to build up the comic collection as you're going through a sketchbook like this. So a couple years went by, right? And my sensibilities changed, my style shifted, my overall like intent with sketchbooks has also shifted. So I said, like, let's complement this. And I was in Five and Below, and I absolutely fell in love with this paper quality, like, because it's so effing thin. And I don't know why. Like, the thin paper truly resonated with me. So here we are. So I apologize if we're dealing with any type of internet lag. There's been internet problems here, and then there's been camera problems, which is why we're kind of just doing this also, because we just want to get the ball rolling, since we did all the hard work and our schedule is ready to go. So updates from yesterday, if you guys were tracking any of the conversation we had with that I had with Fatal J, we were kind of talking about Street Fighter, the Street Fighter GI Joe, because I was asking him mostly because I truly was not familiar with it, but the GI Joe Street Fighter 2 comic book crossover, and just asking him like legit questions while I was talking to him about that on stream, and it's through chat. I really realized that whenever I come across those Udon Studios, they're called Classic Street Fighter, but they're hardbacks. And whenever I come across those, I say to myself, like, I need to kind of read these, and because when those came out, like, I was still working at the comic shop, and I read those and I thought they were really good. And Udon later was, that was such a success for them that they were able to carry that into Marvel Comics, and believe it or not, they took over the Deadpool title. But the hardbacks, to me, it's like, I don't have to go crazy with the floppies, even though I do prefer the floppies, even for those just with the backup stories. Any book that has a backup story, I prefer the floppy, because I'm more interested in how they present the backup story within the floppy. So anyway, I was on Amazon last night, and they were all there, and they were all affordable. So I ordered, I think, volumes 1 through 3. I just said that the hell with it. So expect those coming up to do an unboxing. There might be a unboxing, maybe this Wednesday. No, not Wednesday. Thursday. We'll do a unboxing as well. So the open schedule too is like a part of all of this. A part of the experimentation for this is, announcing kind of like what some of the schedule is every single Sunday. So be on the lookout for that in the community tab. I need a little bit of, I need like a full body shot of him. So here we go. This one works. And it's really cool. I love, as much as I don't feel like the first 4 issues, or as much as I feel Wildcats, how Wildcats doesn't really fit in the Wildstorm universe, because I feel that the military stuff works so well. And by the military stuff, I mean the Stormwatch side of the Wildstorm universe. The Stormwatch stuff, in my eyes, is so awesome that the Wildcat stuff, like the alien war, it doesn't quite fit. But as much as I am critical for that, right? I love the 4-issue Wildcats miniseries. I think it's one of the best premiered books that you could have asked for. I think of the Image books, it world builds, and I hate that term, but it shows off everything in such a cool way, and it really builds. It's just, I don't know if there's a better term for it. And I love reading, reading it and rereading it. Of all the Image books, Wildcats 1 through 4 might be my most read. So starting the sketchbook, I wanted to focus on that for a little bit. And again, too, to reiterate, this sketchbook is really designed to be an open platform. What are the ideas? What are we doing? Let's just get it on paper type stuff. And we have right next to me, I have a whole stack of reference. I pulled some reference already. So now I have a reference stack for the Wildstorm sketchbook, and I have a reference stack for Wildstorm Wednesday. So we're busy over here. And I don't know, I'm just here, I'm just trying to make his face look a little bit more decrepit, a little bit more, torn up. Yeah, just kind of a little bit more textured, I'll say. So he's gonna have more bumps and warts and bruises. Overall, he's going to be a dirty boy. And that's the fun of it. And that's really something of the 90s that I feel is lost. Because the 90s really had a sense of we were going to re-explore these characters, and we were going to bring in a certain level of style that wasn't familiar prior. Everyone was obligated to add something to a character, and that goes right into, and we talk about him a lot on this channel, but that goes right into Stephen Platt, where someone like Stephen Platt, he comes in with Moon Knight, and he kind of basically McFarlaneizes the Moon Knight, and it's not just the style, Stephen Platt and Jay Lee with Namor, they redefine those characters with their style, and that's huge. AKA Patters, it was so exhilarating back in the day. And this side of the face is looking way better than the other side. But that's that's a lot of the stuff you use in sketchbooks. You kind of use the opportunity that it's not written in stone. So be aggressive, be experimentational. try and find the right shapes, try and find the right line work. And I always like to kind of add like a level of complication. Where you kind of have to think twice when you see something, like to exactly like how it might work, like practically, like in the real world. So here, like we're kind of doing that with some of these like wrinkles where, like we're thinking about it. We're saying, all right, like his face is wrapped, but let's kind of be a little bit more exaggerated with it. Let's be a little bit more goofy with it. And again, too, it's the same character, it's the same face. Like we're not changing anything. We're just adding to it. And I don't want to say he's a wild character, but he's well designed. It's not a iconic design or anything. It's and it again too, it's like the image stuff, the early image stuff, I think really lacked with what we would call just like iconic design work. And I think he's got like these white. He's just like cloth within cloth, which I do appreciate. Because it sells him in a certain way. Like makes him a little bit more regal. And we're out. We need more. All right. We might just like blast this with all red at this point, just to see. So like that's maybe right. But I kind of want to get more. So for the whites, I've been using light gray. Right, it's either like you use light gray or you use some type of like lighter blue, kind of like a sky blue, even maybe like a very light turquoise. We'll get it away with some red here. I don't know. Like he's more of a raggedy, right? He's more of a raggedy gnome. And we got the. It's almost like the orb here now. Now is just secondary, inconsequential, as they used to say. Just need a little bit more black here. Just to block it out. And I'll say, like, I guess, like, we can give the gnome maybe, like, a, like a darker brown texture for skin. Just to show off. To show off, yeah, like that. Those lights are weird. Now, it's hard to tell because I see the Wi-Fi meter bounce back and forth. Let me just see what we have here. Test, test, test. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. That works. Just wanted to make sure things were working. It's kind of like his hand grabbing the orb, if you guys can't tell. Not as clear as I would like, I have to say. So this is where like you kind of go down like a black hole. You go down the black hole on like the absolute back and forth. Like how much back and forth do we need to do to get this going, to get this correct? And by correct, I mean readable. Like we know what it is type stuff. So if you guys are hearing anything in the background, this is the weekend of the Philadelphia Nude Bike Ride, if you guys are not familiar with that. So I know it was yesterday because actually, the fiance and I, we were walking back from dinner and we happened to like walk into it as it was beginning. And like we hung around for a couple seconds until we were just kind of like, it's all enough. And real quick, guys, holy crap, I ruined this whole orb. But yeah, so I don't know if they're still doing like more events and stuff around it, or if there's like 2 bike rides or what. But that's a little bit of what you might be hearing, or just a adjacent event. Like this orb alone right here, I ain't spending enough time on it. I had a little bit of a quick sketch. I thought that was going to be enough. And that, again, like that happens. It happens more often than one could realize. That like a lot of times, what you feel like is complete or effective, like it's just it turns out that it's just not because of all kinds of reasons that go into the finishing process. So now, we're just spending way more time on this. We should already be moving on. What I'm doing now is just trying to add what I like to call like a glow value. So it's a effect, quote unquote. But it just maybe helps. Oh, dude, did you DM me? I Devil. I was hoping to see you yesterday. That's why I was like, did you DM me? I'm looking right now. I hold on. I got a little bit there, with the multiple controversies now that roll through my channel. Things got buried. Let me just look for you. Is it Devil? It's Devil Flyer, right? Like on here we go. Devil Flyer messages. Where are we at? Oh, shipping. Nah, dude. You know what? Hey, what's this? Did you get to episode 800 for your show? Is that right? You and Shadowhawk? Ugh. All right, dude. I'll send that out. I thought that is it? I'm looking at my. Oh no, I'm sorry. I do have a pile. Maybe you're still in the pile. The what delays the shipping though is sometimes I'm literally not near the. It's almost like my pattern in Philly that I walk every day. I'm not near any of the post offices, so I have to make special trips. I used to be near an office right down the street from one of the USPSs. I'll get that out to you tomorrow, bud. What's happening with the book, dude? I haven't in Devil too. You don't like you and Ithke Five, the colorist. You guys really disappear from my feed anymore, and it's really weird because like I have this like little thing with Gem Mint, which is like fine and fair. And now like my entire feed is like the Gem Mint stuff, all the Ripaverse stuff, but also like the people who criticize Ripaverse. And I found actually there's a few channels that criticize Gem Mint, which I wasn't even aware of. Like but like all that stuff's like in my feed now. And I don't, I kind of don't spend time. Like I'll kind of think of people, and I guess like I'm guilty of that because I haven't thought of you to see what was happening on the channel. But what's happening with with the book though? I need book updates. And yes, I am up early. Yeah, hitting 850 today. That's insane. Has that is that working though? Like for you? Like are you selling the books? Has the growth of your like has the book grown kind of like in interest and in orders? Because I kind of remember you were doing the full size, and then right, like I think you had like an ash cane. I don't know if you did any. I assume you did more from that. I'm not digging this like at all. Here we go. Updates incoming. For the final time. Sweet. That's not bad, dude. Like 35 for a unknown book. I know a lot of the the smoke and mirrors is like 100K and stuff like that. I don't think that's realistic for unknown properties. Uh, I I think you're there. I think that's right where you should be. It's selling out the current book. Very nice. Yeah, and 1400 for an ash cane. Like back in the day, people would print 1400 to 3500 ash cane like print runs. So again, not ridiculous. Like what were you expecting? Like did you have like a threshold in mind? I know you may have one based on cost, but did you have any idea like where you might end up? We're doing the desperate trick here of white highlights to compensate what we're missing. Yeah, some of that's just not quite there. It's not quite there. It's just not. I don't know. Not digging the left side, not digging the right side. So real quick, as promised, here's we can do like a little bit of a quick sketchbook tour because we're all over the place on this one. And on the bottom, we have the this was yesterday's GI Joe piece. But yeah, so the whole idea was to start with the classic X-Men because we're kind of telling the story of like X-Men #1 leading into kind of the relevance of Homage Studios and then all of that leading into like Wildstorm production. So we have Cyclops, Gambit, Psylocke. Then we'll have the Homage Studios logo. We'll have like a caricature of Jim Lee and some of his Scott Williams and Brandon Chow. And then Homage produced 2 prints slash posters. One was Cybernary, which will represent here. This one was black and white, so this will be a strict black and white piece. And then we'll have the Wildstorm Productions logo here with kind of Spartan, like very much like a Superman pose. Then we got Z-Lot. We'll have Maul. Some of these I have to fill in. We got Pike here. These are going to be Demon Knights. This is Voodoo. Another Warblade. I'm not sure who this is supposed to be, but we have our Demon Knight friend, Hellspont. We got Hellspont Color Guide. We have Death Trap. We'll have Atticus here, or Harm. And then we have Gnome. So, like we're kind of, and then I think here we'll get into some of the this will be almost like a color swatch collage of the Stormwatch guys. I mean, this is Fiji from Stormwatch. I think we have Hellstrike, Battalion, or I actually the events of Stormwatch 25 specifically, and that's kind of where I left off. And that was like a lot of work, you know, like page wise. So what should we jump on now? Should we just jump on Mall? I think we can jump on Mall. But yeah, and that's kind of again like you know like some of the big ideas for this. Actually, I want this to be colored. I want to color this right away. And what color is Mall? He's like a greenish. Devil, give me 1 second. I will get right back to. Oh yeah, he's purple. I always like. Why do I never associate purple with Mall? I always associate him with green. But right here, we'll just use this. So now I don't know. Right, like. All right, I think we can figure some of this out. I think we can. We need some light purple, which I don't think we have. We might have to use the Prismas for that. My desk, by the way, guys, if you cannot imagine, my desk is a complete mess all of the time now. It's never clean. And let's see here. Like we kind of have, like it cuts in like this. So maybe like under, and then like right there. Yeah, it's a little tricky. It seems tricky to nail where the purple is coming from. Give me a second here. And that's it, right? And like, and the rest of him is that green. We'll add a swatch right here. All right. And I have a green right below that, right? Like that looks like these look like the Mall colors. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we'll just use the Prismas. I may have to grab the Mall action figure. Because, right, like the costume cuts in. It's crazy how. Here we go. It's crazy how many like different pages you need, like different types of shots you need just to figure out someone's costume. So see, like his skin, right? Like, which is kind of funny because like this is the costume. The costume runs right down center. But all right, so we have eyeballs on that. So let's get that purple. We can maybe like cut in a little bit more here. And we're figuring this thing out in real time, guys. But again, it's a sketchbook. That's what we do with sketchbooks. John Diller adding 4 pages to it. Why is this John Diller's name comes up so much now? Right over what Yellow Flash not paying him. Do you have any intel on that, Devil? Getting it done around 4,000. Yeah, thanks for mailing that. We'll get that to you. Have you really? Send them over. Yeah, from the 80s. Yeah. Oh, that's cool, dude. Oh, and trading. You guys know I love trading cards. Win block. Yeah. Dude, draw. Yeah, get some drawing done, Win block. Cheers to you, bud. I saw your comments. Thank you so much for them. And I guess like maybe I am like I jumped on this a little earlier than I don't know. Like I don't mind starting early, or being on like late. I think that's uh like kind of I don't want to say it's like the Tao, like the way of the artist, but sometimes like you do get a little bit of that jolt of energy and inspiration, and like time kind of just disappears a lot. So, but that's kind of like what you do. Like you just keep going. You have good days at the table. You have bad days at the table. And I don't really know what we're like doing here exactly, but I dig that it's almost like a negative shape. And let's get some of the green over here as the color swatch, because he does have cool colors. It's hard to deny that, but I still feel like again, like Jim Lee, I just never became confident in his design work as a like just character designer. Never. I just feel like it's always missing a thing or two, and I know that's hard to define. Sorry, I'm just trying to get some darker green there. I don't know if we have it. Well, we do have it. I don't know if I can see it. Here we go. Right over here. Some nice dark green to block this out. Devil, you should get Windblock to do some stuff for you. He's very 90s. He's very in tune to what we do on this channel. New icon. Yeah. No, I think Windblock always had that icon. Nice. Yeah, yeah. Like, did you really, Devil? What's your like day job? I don't even know. I never thought about asking you for your day job. About like what do you do outside of YouTube? Um, Devil, let me if I can interject on what we have on screen right here real quick. If you just I know I talked to you before about some advice. Uh, the letterer is he will make or break your book. So have a good eye. Like have someone that you kind of understand has sensibilities. And I guess I can pivot because I would only assume some of your book might be like rewritten as you're seeing pages. So make sure they understand like that scenario as well, that they may not be able to sign off on the job until until you like you kind of give the thumbs up on the final pages. There's too many we'll call it like young books, too many young books that they destroy everything with lettering. And it does take you out as the reader. Like it just ruins the experience. And I'm only saying it because a lot of people nodded when I told them that. Like a lot of, and you always get the nods when you have the lettering conversation and you see the book and you're just like, ah, that not quite, didn't quite listen. Like some of this too was just like let's get him in motion, right? Like let's get him moving in a particular way. Because like that's the thing too. It's like some of it's like you may spend some time away from these characters. Like you just don't see them anymore. And like at one time they would be everywhere. Like every time you walk into a comic shop, you would just see Maul. Like Maul and his Wildcats friends. And then eventually like you just don't. And you kind of forget. You forget how characters move or how they're supposed to look in motion. And that's like another big intent with this sketchbook. Like let's just remind ourselves like how great some of these characters look on the page. But given you have to do stuff if the characters aren't like like if you're dealing with a bad design or if you just need some extra oof, it that's up to the artist. Like you have to sell that. Nice job. No, you spray bugs? What does that even mean? Devil, what does that even mean? I remember that wind block. Devil Flyer, publish this pinup right here. Put that in your book. Keith Gleason from the Mighty Mascots, doing the lettering. Yeah. Yeah, I know, same here. But no, like it's a like lettering makes or breaks a book. Like it's just and there's good books out there. Like there's like really nice thought out indie books out there that still to this day cannot solve the lettering conundrum. Isn't that wild? Like that's kind of how like it's a like I just think a lot of indie guys, they don't have the eye for what a good completed like comic is supposed to look like. I just don't. I've been around it for way too long to be convinced otherwise. But and that doesn't mean others haven't figured it out, because they clearly have. But it's just me. It's me. It's my channel. I'm just giving my opinions. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts? Someone just giving their opinions into the ether on the YouTube. We got an M here. We're going to give him like right there. The mall M. Hope you guys can see that. Ooh, that color smells. Oh, Betsy, that color smells. Yeah, and Devil, I think Shadowhawk had. He told me Shadowhawk told me he had a couple of these figures. He was going to send me pictures so I could buy them. I'll just buy them. I don't even need to see pictures. Just give them to. Yeah, just let's make a deal. Like this is really what the idea of the sketchbook is. Now I need to find the issue where he goes on. I don't know if I have it here. Is it? It's not 5. It's 5. It's maybe issue 8. I need issue 8 of Wildcats. Let me see if I can find it. Because issue 8 of Wildcats, he is like in his human form, and they go, they see a painting that's like this. So I kind of give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna try and find that. Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, kind of just like a like almost like a YouTube showcase. Yeah, I know what you meant, buddy. I know you meant gallery. You spray McHugh. Do you really? That is the best job. Mosquitoes are dangerous. Give me 1 second. I got like a little bit of a mosquito story. I'm currently in one of my Wildstorm boxes, and I'm hoping I get lucky. Cause I front pack them sometimes with what I'm like what's on the tip of my brain, like what I'm studying. Oh, I do need this one though. So sometimes I'll have like a block of the books that I was like back and forth on, and I guess if I have to skip it, I will. I'll have to skip it. Yeah, I don't know where, and then I don't know where the rest of the Wildcat stack is. Okay, but we have this, and I need this for the homage logo. So maybe we'll just do some like logo lettering here, live. Yeah, maybe we'll do some of that. Dude, Devil, can I do a story for you that's the a mosquito sprayer like character versus Devil Flyer? Like I'll start that right away because I think that is such an awesome wild idea. Let me know what you need from me. I'll put the money in for extra pages. I don't care. Like let's just get it done. All right. You know, recently too, I had someone really come after me hard on Facebook. And I'm not good, like really not naming names. And you know, so like I kind of like snapped back with a comment, and they, yeah, I get it. Like, you know, like it's the internet, no hard feelings type stuff, which is really weird, right? Like if you're on the internet, you have to just not be a puss. You have to kind of have thick skin. But I saw that this guy recently posted he was looking for money to kind of work on, like he needed money for something like art driven, I'll say. So he messages me and he kind of like, you know, like gives me a little bit of a apology, which is like fair and accepted. And I was like, what's your Venmo? I just sent him like the money he was like asking for, because like, you know, like that's how we can just use our money. I'll say, like, let's just say we have extra cash, we have a disposable income, like use it towards other people. I would do that towards you, Rex, because I think, you know, like I just love everything you do, even though I'm not up to speed on what you've been doing. I can't believe you're at 800. That, how do I miss 800 episodes from you? Yeah, dude, like, and it's the I used to date a girl that was like she worked for the New Jersey like CDC, like whatever like agency looks over that, and she would go on and on how like they um they have to get they have to like capture mosquitoes, they have to test the blood just to see what diseases they could be carrying. And when you spoke to this woman about mosquitoes, you like the fear of God like struck your veins. Like you were just like, man, like we're doomed. Like, how does society even continue with these creatures? And but dude, like I love that though. Like that is so wild. Not watching? Yeah, I just mean like yeah, I haven't like I don't think you've been on my feed in the longest time, dude. Like I'm but Itchy's like that also. It just seems like if you want to say like the mid-level channels, it's like you eventually have to remember like who they are, and then you have to go to their channels. And I think that's what a lot of people have. It happens with me too, because if you go through the history of just the people in my chats, you'll see like a whole transition of people that no longer pop into chats, and I'm totally convinced it like they're just maybe not notified or they just don't see it. Oh well, yeah. Yeah, dude, like it's like that. I think that's a part of it. Like we need to get each other like excited, motivated. That's such a hard thing to do, you know. But I always try and use my like resources. But like the thing is, though, like this year though, really was like a paradigm shift for me where like I kind like if you want to say like it was a little bit of a vision. I just had like a vision like what I needed from the channel to kind of just hit a couple things on a regular basis, like to regularly hit opinions on the regular, like just be able to drop opinions. Those are the 9 o'clock fires, but I just feel like yeah, I'm betraying a little bit of what I might be saying. Like I'm betraying myself if I don't do the comic book history stuff and kind of go into some of these veins and these themes of the channel. Uh, so it was like, hey, I need to stock. Like I really need to get aggressive. I need to stockpile a ton of work. Like I'm talking like a month's worth of videos, and that's kind of like where we are. Where as of now too, I have like the amount of videos I have unpublished far exceeds what I have rendered to publish. So like I'm always like just chipping away at that. Like just sitting down, rendering. If I have one of my team over, like it's like, hey, what are we working on next? Immediate, like what's immediate? Those are a lot of the conversations we have. So I didn't realize the homage logo had so much graffiti. Did you guys realize that? Because I'm drawing like a 3D image here, and I need it flat just so I can see it better. And all of these, look, everything in here is just 3D. So this is maybe not the best book. Guys, here's some tips on how to break into comics right here. You know what's funny? Like I get that grunge is right, but aren't they teenagers? She's got like the six pack. I don't know if that's appropriate. So yeah, I don't have any black and white homage. Ugh. All right, maybe we will have to get another reference real quick, but give me 1 second. like it definitely has some like it's just you kind of want to say this logo is designed like the Massimo logo, and it kind of has like merchandise in mind. Like I don't know if that's a popular observation with this. Doing graffiti lettering too is, like I see so much graffiti in Philly, and it's it's amazing, like what those guys do. It really is. If I could, I say this all the time. If I could go out with a graffiti crew, I would. Like I 1,000 because I'm just so curious on how they do their work, and I get it. It's vandalism, and so and like you take the good with the bad because sometimes they hit things, they hit areas, and you're just like, like why'd you do that? You didn't have to do that. So I think we're correcting some of this with some Peter like flair. But anyway, so again, too, like a lot of my sketchbooks are intended to be part history lessons, and I love that. Like it keeps you motivated to keep working on them. So now the question is like, should I? Right, we're gonna have to like shade and shadow this, and maybe do like a effect. So should we do the microns and graduate into like Sharpies, or should we just use the black here? Like maybe we'll start with these. Yeah, dude. Yeah, New York still. I mean, I think Philly is pretty strong with graffiti. Uh, like some of like you kind of just based on the region, it's like Philly, Baltimore's pretty good. New York is good. But I think collectively it's like even being in Chicago's pretty good. But I've been like as far as like Dallas, LA. You do see a difference between like West Coast and East Coast, and you do see a difference between the New York, Philadelphia hub, we'll call it, and how that bleeds out. Because even overseas, it's not quite. The crews are not quite there, and not saying they're not doing it, but it's kind of like, um, like there's just a creativity here in Philly when it comes to tags that is, I think it's the best in the like entire world. I really do. See, here we go. I'm using this just to be able to select the lines. Like I'm just kind of using this as like a correction. And some of it's there, some of it's not. But I do like that, like I think we can add some beveling to that pretty easily. Get away with it. I mean, get away with it because, like, I feel like I'm cheating here. Like, I'm not, I'm not a graffiti guy. So what I do is, by luck, do some extra effects on that. Yeah, Graffiti's a skill, Windblock. I might add some Bible link to this. I'm not going to subject you guys too much to to this bad video and this bad audio. So I think an hour is good. We kind of normally do an hour anyway. That H is brutal, and I corrupted that on my own. You know, I could have played the H as it was, as it appeared, and I don't think I did a good job. We'll do some cheating here. We'll use like the shadow of the O to kind of showcase it a little bit more so we can get away with having mistakes. Yeah, right. Fake it till you make it, right? Wind block. Who's messaging me? Or are these messages? Usually my volume should be off. So it's like, yeah, I hate it. This is why I hate um picking up, like, yeah, like you pick up your phone one time and it's like you just have to stare at it. Let me get over here. This table being a complete mess too hinders a little bit of how well I can move around the page. ugh. I like. There's a lot about this I hate. I don't know why. But I kind of I'm into it being a little bit muddy when I if I blast it with yellow with all the pencil on it. And we're missing. Are we missing? There we go. Yeah, is that the one we want? Here we go. And that's kind of what we're going for. I know, like who popped in to see me letter, like, or do a logo? Like, no one. And we'll do some like almost like vintage printed VHS effects on this. And I know that's a couple different like vintage printed, yes. VHS, uh, you know, distilled or like VHS corrupted media, yes. So let's get, a lot of this too. You're kind of like, like you kind of say to yourself, like some of the creators behind this stuff, you kind of do say like, hey, like you did something pretty cool back in the day. I realize you're doing stuff now, but uh, why don't you just get back to doing things like this, like get back to this level of energy. Now we need the that's red. Oh wait, or is that pink? Maybe that one. go, right? Like, I mean, you need some like light gray, like underneath the beveling here, or to create more of the beveling, like via shadow. I'll show you what I mean. A little bit in there, like that. The O is still bothering me. New joke. And you kind of, right, like you, if you go into like a graffiti like sketchbook, like some of them would just, like they would just blast it with so much color, like marker wise and Sharpie wise. Would just be like, man, like how long did it take you to color that? You know, and they'll be like, oh, it took me all day, it took me all night. So we'll emulate some of that here. We'll like split the color. We'll just use up all of our marker. Yeah, this is what I feel like graffiti sketchbooks look like. I love that blue though, and it sucks that this camera doesn't quite pick it up. Oh, no. And where's my cap? Right here. Right where I left it. And I kind of want the bottom to be pink. Yeah. Yeah, and that's again like you kind of just do it. Like who cares? Like who cares knowing what the outcome could be? Sometimes it's just like this is our decision. We're gonna lay down the color. Like let's go. Those are subtle. I don't know if you guys can see them too well. I need a good dark blue. All right, I think that's enough, right? At least we got one of the two titles down. So, like, again, like it kind of really starts with X-Men and it kind of like flows into Homage Studios. Then it's going to flow into Jim Lee, and then we'll get some characters from Homage, then Wildstorm. So we halfway decent progress on this already. Like halfway decent progress. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I have to work out. We hang out and then we work out.